Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Rock Solid Wellness. This is your host, Rich Petrus, ND. I'm going to be talking to you today. I'm going to do a review. The last 3 Mondays, I took the time to teach a person how to take control of their health by using the science of nutrigenomics. Nutrigenomics is the science of using food based formulas to enhance your gene expression. And when that happens, miracles occur. And if you go back and watch the last 3 videos in sequence, you will learn exactly why it is so miraculous. And there is a synergy that takes place when you open up 3 specific genetic pathways. The first and the foremost, the most important one is the foundational genetic pathway, which is the NRF2 pathway, genetic pathway. And when that NRF2 protein gets to the nucleus of the cells in the body, cells produce the antioxidative enzymes at youthful levels and gene expression is enhanced. So let's take a little bit of time, it's going to be a shorter video, to review the benefits relative to the synergy in nutrigenomics, and that synergy is developed by 3 formulas: Protandim NRF1, Protandim NRF2, and Protandim NAD Synergizer. So let's review the benefits of the foundational formula Protandim NRF2. As I stated, when one takes that yellow tablet and gets that NRF2 protein to the nucleus of the cell, then the genes are activated when you take that particular tablet. And when the genes are activated, then something miraculous occurs. The 4 antioxidative enzymes are produced at youthful levels, and those 4 antioxidative enzymes then start neutralizing free radicals at a rate of 1,000,000 per second, 24 hours a day. And that's significant, folks, because the free radicals, well, when we turn age 30 or older, that's the benchmark in medicine called age-related oxidative stress, that there are then more, the genes get worn out, they don't express themselves as well, they don't produce as many of the antioxidative enzymes, so we start to age and disease begins to manifest. So number one, Protandim NRF2 is a cellular activator. It increases gene expression. When genes express themselves correctly, they produce the 4 antioxidative enzymes at youthful levels, and free radicals are neutralized. Free radicals are the cause of all 248 diseases that doctors treat with prescription medication and surgery. Now, in this process of cell activation, when genes are expressing themselves correctly, the genes then develop something called cellular intelligence. They now recognize abnormal cell function, and they start issuing commands as the free radicals are being neutralized by the antioxidative enzymes. If something is performing too low, then a command is given to upregulate cell performance. If cell performance is in overdrive, then a command is given to down-regulate cell performance. If there is inflammation in the body, then it is minimized, it is neutralized, it is lowered. The genes give that command. If there is an enhanced level of fibrosis, which leads to abnormal blood clotting, that's recognized by the genes and that cellular intelligence, and the command is given to neutralize or lower that problem or imbalance in the body. If cells are damaged, the genes recognize it, give commands to repair damaged cells. If DNA is damaged, the cells give commands to repair DNA. If chromosomes need to be rescripted, they're rescripted. So it's kind of like, it's exactly like this. This process of cellular activation by using NRF2 transcription factor, getting that NRF2 protein to the nucleus of the cell. The protein doesn't get there, gets to a receptor site, met by kinase. An electrochemical signal is sent to the genes inside the nucleus, and they start producing the antioxidative enzymes, and gene expression is enhanced. And voila, we have a miracle. And what occurs relative to the research when this process of NRF2 transcription factor is enhanced, then gene expression is enhanced 68%. That's huge in medicine. 68%. And the research states that if you take that yellow tablet, NRF2, for 30 days, the cells of the body will neutralize 40% of the oxidative stress, which is the free radical damage that's causing afflictions to occur and symptoms to be treated. If you continue to take that tablet for 120 days, 4 months, then the research states that the cells of the body will neutralize 70% of the age-related oxidative stress. And the longer you take it, the better the cells perform. And remember, Protandim NRF2 was created by a renowned scientist, microbiologist, who took 45 years to create it. The scientist was awarded the Elliott Cresson Medal from the Franklin Institute for his research, much more prestigious than the Nobel Peace Prize in Medicine. And that formula, Protandim NRF2, is protected by 12 patents. So let's go on. So if we only did that, the longer you take it, the better the cells perform. And what did the inventor of the technology of nutrigenomics and NRF2 transcription factor conclude? He said this science and this process, by taking that yellow tablet, causes it works for everyone at every age, regardless of your diagnosed condition. And if that's all we had, it would be wonderful. But let's go on to a second factor. I talked about in the second video the benefits of getting the NRF1 protein to the cytoplasm inside the cell. And when that occurs, by creating that particular pathway, by utilizing the NRF1 protein, then we have something called mitochondria that are so important to our health. If they're turned off, we're dead in 15 seconds. But mitochondria are known as the powerhouses of every cell, 17 trillion cells in the body. And they are these little organelles that act like a digestive system in our cells, which takes in nutrients, breaks them down, and then the cells create energy, which is energy-rich molecules for each of our cells. And this process is known as cellular respiration. Mitochondria are responsible for this process. So chemical energy produced by the mitochondria is stored in a small molecule called adenosine triphosphate. That's ATP. That's our energy producer for our body. Now, there are, as I stated in the video, and let's review this, there are 5 major roles that mitochondria, and more than this, but there are 5 that are significant, and let's go over those. Mitochondria cause our cells to produce ATP, and that regulates cellular metabolism and increases our general energy and the energy of every cell in the body to perform at maximum levels. And that's important to the relationship of Protandim NRF2, because now that NRF2 protein can readily and much more easily and efficiently get to the genes and activate them so that gene expression can be enhanced and cells can be activated and antioxidative enzymes can be produced at maximum levels. Another thing that mitochondria is responsible for is calcium homeostasis. So mitochondria absorbs calcium, these calcium ions, and holds them until the calcium is needed. And why is this important? It relates directly to muscle function, fertilization, blood clotting, metabolism, and hormone signaling. Okay, now a third factor related to increased production of maximum levels of mitochondria: regulation of innate immunity. What is innate immunity? It's the defense system in our body that every one of you were born with. Innate immunity protects you against all antigens. This is important. Innate immunity creates barriers that keep harmful material from entering into your cells and into your body. Okay, important. And fourth factor, programmed cell death. Oh, this is signaling between cells. This is called apoptosis. Okay, so as cells become older and broken down and damaged, they are destroyed and they're cleared away. So mitochondria help in the decision-making process known as programmed cell death or apoptosis. So lower levels of mitochondria cause this process and this very important aspect of our human physiology to be limited, and we don't want that to happen. Oh, and here's an important one. Relative to mitochondria, increased levels, stem cell regulation. Stem cell regulation develop into many different types of cells, stem cells. They serve as a repair system for the entire body. Stem cells are very, very important, and mitochondria are an important aspect in the health and the regeneration and the normal process of stem cells and their function in our body to keep us healthy. Mitochondria uses oxygen available within each one of our cells, and that energy and this oxygen inside the cell relative to mitochondria converts chemical energy from food in the cell to energy in the form of that is usable in each of our cells in the body. So mitochondria are important. Mitochondria are vital to our survival. Okay, let's see. Let's talk about, as a review, some of the symptoms of mitochondrial decline or deficiency. We might have a loss of muscle coordination and weakness, problems with vision and hearing. When we get older, that's a problem. People, children, and even older adolescents who have learning disabilities, mitochondria is a distinguishing factor. Heart and liver and kidney disease, mitochondrial relationship, gastrointestinal problems, mitochondrial decline, those issues become worse, and neurological problems, including dementia and Alzheimer's, are directly related to a lack of or a lower diminished production of mitochondria, those little powerhouses in our cells. So what are some specific, as a review, conditions that are thought to involve mitochondrial dysfunction? Well, some of them are, but not limited to this list. Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, chronic fatigue syndrome. It's when a person is just really, really tired. Huntington's disease, diabetes, and autism. Okay, so mitochondria are popularly referred to as our powerhouses of the cell, and they carry out a wide range of actions and activities. If they're turned off for some reason, folks, you're going to be dead in a very short period of time. So save the best for last. They power up every cell in the body. This power maximizes the ability of other functions in the body, including NRF2 transcription factor and the ability of NAD to be recirculated so that sirtuins, the anti-aging genes, can be produced at very youthful levels. So what did I just mention? I mentioned something called NAD. NAD, that's a substance that's inherent within every cell in our body, and when we get older, it's not produced very well or very at maximum levels. And NAD is responsible for producing something called sirtuins, and sirtuins are the anti-aging genes. So NAD is responsible for producing sirtuins. What do sirtuins do? So NAD is directly related to increased sirtuin production. Anti-aging genes, they start to minimize at 20. By 40, they're minimized by 40%, and by the age of 90, by the age of 80, they're minimized by 98%. They're pretty much non-existent. So sirtuins are responsible for repairing DNA damage in the body. Sirtuins are responsible for removing tags in our cells. This is related to something called histones, and when there are a lot of tags, there's compressed area, and we get older, and our cells don't function as well. So NAD is responsible, the sirtuins are responsible for removing a lot of those tags so we stay youthful. Okay, sirtuins protect Telomeres. Telomeres are the end caps of our chromosomes, which are located in every cell in our body. NAD is all the sirtuins are responsible for, and this is a back and forth synergy, coexistence for mitochondrial function, and mitochondrial function has a positive effect on sirtuin production. So when they're both at maximum levels, very positive things happen. Sirtuins and NAD production promotes something called autophagy. It's a deep cellular cleanse. Everything that's in that cell that's been placed there, from eating the wrong things, breathing bad air, drinking the wrong things, chemicals, preservatives, prescription medication, anything that could be a chemical that is not conducive to proper cell function, autophagy removes. So high sirtuin production promotes autophagy. That's a very good thing. Protein synthesis, balancing the loss of cellular proteins. Proteins like NRF1 and NRF2 are really important to the proper function of our body. What else does NAD do in relation to increased sirtuin production? Reduces stem cell depletion. We already talked about what mitochondria do in relation to stem cells. Oh, and the big one, and I talked about this in the video with NAD. Tumor suppression. Do the research, the medical validated research, okay, about the sirtuin production. Decrease inflammation. If you are older or you've been in an accident, had injuries, and if you have inflammation, you're going to have aches and pains, and you're going to have to take something to minimize that discomfort. Increased production of sirtuins and increased production of NRF2, opening up that pathway, and increased mitochondria all have a positive influence on reducing and decreasing inflammation. And, big one, NAD and sirtuin production, maximum levels, has a profound positive effect on improved insulin sensitivity. So as I said in the video, that NAD is kind of like a cofactor, and I did a comparison of two discs, one brand new with all this stored energy in it that regulates the function of our body, and then another disc that is all scratched and damaged and old, and has all the damage, but it can't be read very well and applied in our body like the new disc, like the information on the new disc. So for NAD is the cofactor that's relative to the anti-aging mechanisms in the body. And it's the polish, it's the buffer that cleans all the scratches off. So if you increase your sirtuin production when you're older, then that damaged disc gets polished and it does what it's supposed to do. The encoded information in our genes it's able to be read and able to be applied again like we were newborn to 15 years of age. So folks, we want to increase sirtuin production in the body. So proteins and NAD to be healthy, that's so important. So how can this be accomplished? I told you, you can either starve yourself, and you can have caloric restriction to 600 calories a day. You can do intermittent fasting, and you can do a lot of exercise. And I'm not saying those are not good, but it's a whole lot easier to eat a normal diet, 3 meals or 5 small meals a day, and take 2 tablets of Protandim NAD Synergizer with NRF1 and NRF2 and get 100% increase in sirtuins versus maybe a 3% bump by doing the starving yourself with caloric restriction or intermittent fasting. So what else can we say about NAD in conclusion here? We know that NAD, when you take NAD and increase sirtuin production, you have a boost in mental and physical energy, improved mood, improved mental focus and concentration. Increased sirtuin activity promotes healthy DNA function, maintains healthy cholesterol levels already in the normal range, supports healthy inflammatory response, and also reports healthy vascular response. So let's review. NRF2 again is like the cleanup crew. I told you what happens when you take the Protandim NRF2 Synergizer. It cleans up the damage. We function again at youthful levels, enhances and activates our cells, increases our gene expression. So the NRF2 opening up that, flipping that switch and increasing the NRF2 genetic pathway, it minimizes, puts out the fires and minimizes inflammation. NRF1, they're the powerhouses. It increases the mitochondria. And NAD, it's like the CEO, and it's the executive officer in our cells and our body function. The NAD tells the cells exactly what to do and when to do it, and what time and what place and how much attention. It cleans up, destroys, produces energy, mobilize, and the utilization of fats in our body, which is relative to diabetes and insulin resistance. So it's like the parent. When NAD is depleted, nothing works correctly in the body. So let's end with this. When you take all three together, we already went over the major benefits of the Tri-Synergy pack of taking NRF1, NRF2, and Protandim NAD Synergizer. But when you take them together, the benchmarks of normal performance and enhanced performance by just taking those individual substances by themselves, well, if NRF1, when taken with NRF2 and adding the NAD, there's an increase in the baseline performance of NRF1 by 69%. It's huge. But listen to this. When you take all three together, then NRF2, the baseline function, is increased by 1,563%. So everything, all those benefits of cell activation and gene expression and increased antioxidative function and enzymes to neutralize the free radicals, the cause of all our afflictions, increased by 1,563%. And when you take all three together, the production of the anti-aging genes relative to increased and recirculating the NAD and making it function like we were youthful again, an increase of 1,792% in the baseline performance of sirtuin production. So what do we just review? We reviewed the fact that if we open up the three genetic pathways, the NRF1 genetic pathway that increases mitochondria, the NRF2 genetic pathway, which increases the production of the antioxidative enzymes and flips the switch to cellular activation, very, very positive. And then NAD, the opening up the sirtuin pathway, genetic pathway, all three together aids the body in dealing with the three theories of aging and disease. And remember this about NAD. Let me add this. NAD in 2018, there was this Tri-Synergy approach was awarded the Bronze Stevie Award, thinking about the sweetener, for the best new health product of the year in the international market. And it is in the health and pharmaceutical category. There were 3,900 entries and from 174 countries. So folks, that was the review of taking Protandim NRF1, Protandim NRF2, and Protandim NAD Synergizer, the nutrigenomic medical approach that is medically validated on PubMed.gov. When you do this, you have the opportunity to get your body to function like you were newborn to 10 or 15 years of age. And when you add the NAD to the other two, then you become, as relative to the research, a centurion and live to 100 or well beyond. Research validated. Centurions do not have diminished gene expression after the age of 30. That's why they live so long. So, what can we say to end? Oh my goodness. If you want to take control of your health without taking a whole bunch of supplements, or thinking about the possibility of taking a bunch of prescription medications, or being diagnosed, or having surgery, or whatever could occur in your circumstance, if you want to be able to say to yourself, I want to take control of my health, and regardless of my circumstance, regardless of my affliction, regardless of the symptoms that I'm suffering from, these formulas don't cure anything. They are cell activators. They are nutrigenomic formulas that do specific things like prescriptions. They are not supplements. So one can easily go from a situation where they are extremely unhealthy and miserable with no hope and hang their hat on the validated medical science of nutrigenomics and cause their body to function correctly and recognize what's wrong and adjust to their circumstances so that their body causes their symptoms to disappear. Go from a situation of being very unhealthy to a situation of being really healthy again. Folks, that's rock solid wellness. You have that opportunity. Now, I didn't say this the last time. I do not charge for my services. I'm doing this to teach. But if you feel like you would like to speak with me, if you would text me at 304 612 6186, I will be more than happy to call you back and consult with you. I do not charge for that consultation. I can also refer you to my YouTube channel where you can get, you're already watching it, but from these videos, there's other information above and beyond what's being taught here that I could direct you to. It's all science. It's all validated medical science, and that's all that I do is hang my head on the science and teach the science. So, folks, till next time, that was the review of the benefits, and that was limited to just the most important ones. This Tri-Synergy approach of using nutrigenomics and opening up the 3 genetic pathways gives a person the opportunity to take control of their health and have increased health, wellness, and longevity. Reach their goal, live a productive life, long productive life, and that's what everyone's looking for. Especially today, that's what everyone is looking for. So until next week, have a good week. Have a healthy week. Remember to drink lots of water, stay cool, eat a good diet, proper bowel elimination, stay away from the foods and the drinks that poison you, and use the process of nutrigenomics to get your body to function the way it should so that you can be as healthy as you possibly wish to be. Blessings to you all. Until next week, have rock solid wellness. Bye now.